Hi guys, welcome to Algebra 1. Hi guys, welcome to Algebra 1, Lesson 44. We're talking about the least common multiple. So the least common multiple would be the number, the smallest number that is divisible by all of a certain set of numbers. So let's say, for example, I have 4, 5, and 8. And I want to find the smallest number that can be divided by all three of these, 4, 5, and 8. That would be the least common multiple. I might think, well, I could probably find that by multiplying all three of these together. 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 times 8 is 160. All of them can be, 160 can be divided by all three of these numbers. So that's probably it. Wrong, that's not it. Okay, there's actually a smaller number. And here's the way to find it. The way to find it is by using prime factors. We have done this before, but it's been a little while. So let's talk over it now to review. And this is the first time really that we're doing it this year. So we start by writing out the prime factors of each number. The prime factors of 4 are 2 and 2. Just a quick reminder, prime factors are the numbers whose only factors are 1 and itself. The prime factor of 5 is 5. Remember, 1 is not a prime factor. The prime factors of 8 are 2, 2, and 2. Now, we take each prime factor and we write it the greatest number of times that it's used in one of the, as a factor for one of the numbers. So 2, it's used as a factor here with 4 and here with 8. It's used twice with 4, but 3 times with 8. So it's used a greater number of times with 8. So I need to use it 3 times in finding my least common multiple. Not 5 times, okay? It's not the total number of times you use it as a factor. It's the greatest number of times as a factor for one number, okay? So now 5. 5 is also a different prime factor. It's only used 1 time overall. So I only need it once. Now I multiply each of these together. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 5 is 40. So 40 is my true least common multiple. Let's just double check it. Can 40 be divided by 4? Yes, you get 10. 40 divided by 5, 8, another whole number. 40 divided by 8, 5. So 40 is your true least common multiple. All right, let's try now 115 and 18. We're going to start by writing out their factors as prime factors. So for 100, if you can't do this off the top of your head, make sure that you use like a ladder or something like that. For 100, it would be 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. 15 is 3 times 5. And 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. All right, let's find the greatest, let's find each factor, the greatest number of times it's used for one number. So let's start with our lowest prime factor, which is 2. 2 is used twice here, and then here, once here. Okay, 2 is greater than 1, so it's used 2 times. It's the greatest number of times it's used in one number. Let's do 3, going next up. It's used once here and twice here. So 2 is the greater set. And then 5, it's used once here and twice here, so we'll use it twice. And we multiply. So we multiply 2 times 2, which is 4, times 3, which is 12, times 3, which is 36, times 5, which is 180, times 5 again, which is 600. Did I do that right? I don't think I did. Something's off, guys. Oh. Here's what I did wrong. I was looking at my book. I made this into an 18. This actually is supposed to be an 8. So let's try this again. No, let's just keep it at 18. We don't need to follow that example. You can look at that example. Here's a new one. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12, times 3 again is 36, like I said. 36 times 5, go back into my memories, that was 180. 180 times 5, 0, 40, 900. Okay, so my least common multiple for these three numbers is 900. Sorry for my goof up there. If this were 8 instead of 18, the least common multiple would be 600. All right, let's look at the least common multiple of 80, 75, and 30. Start by writing out our prime factors. The prime factors of 80 are 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Now, I actually did not do that off the top of my head, which you probably saw. I was looking at my book. So for numbers that are not as common, like 15, not as small, like 18, then you will need to use some sort of tool to find the prime factors. Don't just rely on your head. If you can, great, but the majority of you, please don't just rely on your head. Okay, 75 equals, let's see, the lowest number would be 3 times 5 times 5. For 30, it will be 2 times 3 times 5. Okay, now we'll take each factor, the greatest number of times it's used in one number, to find the LCM. So I have 2 4 times, none here, once here. 4 obviously is the greater number. So I have 4 2s. Then for 3, it's used once here and once here. So it doesn't really matter which one I choose. I'm just going to use it once. 5 is used once here, twice here, once here. Choose the bigger number. Okay, so now I multiply. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 3 times 5 times 5. I'm not going to do that in my head. Comes out to 1,200. Now, I'm allowed to not do things in my head. You have to work things out on the board. You can't use the calculator. Okay, but you already knew that. So let's now pause and do your practice. If you need any help, let me know before you start your practice. All right, you should be back now from your practice, page 167. Letter A is 420. Letter B is 216. Letter C is 600. Okay, hope you did well on that, got those all correct. If not, let me know and I will see what I can do to help you. Have a wonderful day, guys.